Tasmania Island. Suddenly, it's like time just stopped there. For some unknown reason, nearly 500,000 people lose their lives within seconds. To keep this truth hidden from the rest of the world, the government puts the entire island under quarantine, and they send in a special team. Their job is strictly to recover the corpses. But once they get there, they realize that death isn't the finish line, because some of the dead are actually rising again. In the middle of this terrifying mystery, Ava has come to find her husband. But is he still alive, or has he vanished forever into the darkness of death? What kind of secret is buried behind this mass death that wiped out 500,000 lives in an instant? So, let's get into the explanation for today's movie. We bury the dead. At the start of the movie, we see that an experimental US military weapon accidentally detonated on the eastern coast of Tasmania. Because of this, the entire island, including Hobart, has been wiped out. While the Hobart area has turned into a literal hell, the electromagnetic pulse from the weapon caused massive brain and neural failure. This resulted in the death of 500,000 people along with every other living creature. Devastated by the event, the Australian Army and the government are begging citizens to volunteer in Tasmania, because disposing of hundreds of thousands of bodies takes massive amounts of time and manpower. Consequently, many citizens are heading to Tasmania despite the nightmare situation. Among them is an American physical therapist named Ava Newman. Her husband, Mitch, was in Woodbridge, Tasmania, for a business trip. This disaster happened right after he got there. Ava believes Mitch is still alive. Yeah, it sounds crazy, but that's the twist. See, even though the electric pulse destroyed everything, some people are incredibly coming back to life. However, they're like living corpses. They've got the flesh and blood, but the thing called emotion is totally missing. Information is scarce because no one has actually seen those who survived. So, to most people, it sounds like a total rumor. As a result, many people like Ava have joined the rescue team with a mix of doubt and the desperate hope of finding their loved ones. After landing at the airport, they confiscate phones, cameras, and everything else according to protocol before sending them for registration. Because the government absolutely does not want any footage of the island getting out. During registration, Ava requests to join the body recovery team heading toward Woodbridge. But the officer tells her the South Island area is still on fire, so it's been completely isolated. Therefore, no one is being allowed in. Ava says she's a physical therapist, so she could be a huge help. Then the officer bluntly tells her they're here for body ID and recovery. They aren't here to give physical therapy to dead people. Ava stays quiet for a bit and hears a senior officer saying that the rumors are actually true, meaning some people are indeed coming back to life, but they don't have enough time to test them. They've only confirmed that these people move very slowly and aren't aggressive. They don't have answers for why, how, or where they're coming from. They just have to focus on recovering the bodies and disposing of them. According to protocol, if they see a victim who came back, they have to fire a flare gun. Then the army will show up and neutralize them. Hearing this, everyone felt a mix of sadness and anxiety, because what they came here thinking was only half true. First off, everyone who died was innocent. Secondly, they're putting down the people who actually survived this disaster for no reason at all. So now the question is, who's at fault? Is the government taking any responsibility for this? This question is asked in the movie, but in real life, we often ask our own governments the same thing. Eventually, everyone reaches the island and starts working in teams of 2, and the pain only gets worse. It wasn't physical, it was mental. Because looking at their condition, it was clear that none of them were ready for death. Like any other day, someone was watering trees in the morning. Someone was having breakfast with their family. Some couples were in the shower, and kids were getting ready for school. Today, trucks are returning filled with human bodies instead of dirt. The condition of the bodies is already horrific. Moreover, seeing the circumstances of their deaths, some volunteers were quitting because they couldn't handle the mental strain. The innocent children reminded the volunteers of their own kids back home. Similarly, the physically strong girl in Ava's team also bailed. But how could Ava leave without Mitch? This situation shows us that being mentally tough is way more important than being physically strong. On the other hand, The guy with Clay was in the same state, so Ava teamed up with him. Dragging bodies out of houses like sacks of trash was exhausting. Along with that, the photos of their beautiful moments hanging on the walls were breaking everyone's hearts. Those who could identify the bodies would bury them according to their own religion, and the rest were just crushed and buried like garbage to cover up the government's failure. Among them, no one has actually seen the undead yet, so some were trying to figure out how they were coming back after death. During the talk, the story of Miracle Mike comes up. He was a chicken that survived for 18 months without a head, causing a sensation in the science world. After working all day, during the lunch break, Ava notices the elderly woman who sat next to her on the plane. She'd come here for her grandson. She's acting hysterical after seeing her grandson's body in the car. Seeing an empty crib in the house next door brought back some old memories for Ava. These events only made Ava's anxiety about Mitch worse. Just then, the silence was broken when a volunteer fired a flare gun after seeing an undead. The army showed up and neutralized him again. Shortly after, Ava saw the first undead in a garage. But what we thought that the undead would attack turned out to be wrong, because that undead looks at Ava with a gaze full of strange wonder and pain. Seeing the tears in his eyes and his moving lips, it feels like he's asking what he did wrong. Who gave them the right to put down the survivors instead of punishing those responsible for the deaths? Who's gonna ask this question? Does being the government mean you're forgiven for everything? Ava doesn't have the answer to these questions either. While the soldiers were shooting him, a storm of guilt and worry for Mitch swept through her. It feels like his voice is drifting in from the distant sea. Ava got determined to get to Woodbridge and marked the route map as evening fell. It's a 200-mile drive. Destination, Enzo Resort. She was about to leave after packing her bags when a patrolling army officer stopped her. See, all the volunteers are having a party in a house after finishing a day's work. They didn't even have to arrange anything, because everyone in this house was partying before they died. Having no other choice, Ava joined the party and saw Clay sitting in a corner. He said these same people were moving bodies with heavy hearts this morning. And now that it's dark, they are partying in the dead people's houses. This scene shows us right to our faces how low and selfish we humans can be. So, the two of them talk here, and Ava reveals she's here for her husband. Ava is unknowingly nursing an irrational hope about Mitch after seeing that undead this morning. But what's gonna be the outcome? Because of all the stress, Ava dreams that an undead is coming to take her out. She woke up feeling uneasy and saw that the recovery work had already started. But she has to head toward Woodbridge today no matter what. Entering a garage in a junkyard, Clay is ecstatic after seeing a bike. Ava tells him everything and begs him to drop her at Woodbridge. Clay agrees to the proposal, because he had nothing to do. Plus, his dream of going on a long bike ride would finally be fulfilled. Just then, they see a lot of bodies there. Looking at the situation, it was clear they were having a bachelor party. And the pole dancers are still hanging in that same position. Suddenly, hearing a noise, they shine the flashlight and see a girl has come back to life. But she doesn't look normal. She's literally aggressive and grinding her teeth. As Ava goes to check closely, Clay doesn't waste time and takes her away to Woodbridge. They drove past one landscape after another. Cattle are lying scattered and dead on the road. The bodies sitting in the driver's seats of cars seem to be giving them a grim welcome. Suddenly, they noticed an army convoy coming from the opposite direction. They hid the bike and waited for the convoy to pass. But the problem escalated, because an undead is coming right toward them. However, the army team took him down and moved on. Seeing Ava imagining Mitch among the fallen bodies made her heart restless. After hiding for a while, the journey started again. Looking at the fires burning across Hobart and the toxic air, it feels like literal hell. Having breathing difficulties, they stopped at one place, set up oxygen masks, and set off again. They see an undead crawling with half a body. The more they head toward Woodbridge, the worse the situation gets. After a long drive, they eventually stopped at a gas station for rest, even though they didn't want to. They drink purified water there, and Ava massages Clay's shoulder. Clay stays quiet when she asks about the tattoo of his wife and baby on his hand. Just then, a deadly undead with a broken leg comes at them. At first, she thought he was like the others, but his behavior was not friendly at all. However, before the undead could attack, a soldier named Riley put him down. Riley informed them that they change over time. For now, he was in the biting stage. When he asked how they got here, Ava told the truth. Even then, Riley didn't believe her. He told her he would interrogate them separately and locked Ava in a room while taking Clay away. After waiting for a long time, Ava had dozed off. Then Riley came and told her that Clay had run away. He hopes Ava won't run away like him. He said he would take the responsibility of getting Ava to Woodbridge. Now Ava is in a dilemma. The person she trusted had left, so she has no choice but to trust Riley. Even though he's a stranger, the wedding ring on Riley's finger added some trust. So Ava got into the car. After a long day of driving, the car stopped in front of a house in the middle of the woods. Ava thought he would grab some gear and head to Woodbridge, but she was a bit surprised to hear about Riley's plan to cook. During dinner, she learns from him that the US had been working on pulse technology for a long time. However, no one guessed the result would be like this. But Ava didn't pay attention to his words and kept staring at the car keys on the table. But Riley thinks Ava is looking at his family photo. Riley took a deep breath and spoke. His wife, Katie, was pregnant. This was their first child. Only a few weeks were left for the delivery. At the time of this disaster, Katie was with her parents in Tasmania. When Riley went to Katie's house after hearing the news while on duty in Australia, he saw they all died while sitting for breakfast. Even though he didn't want to, Riley buried Katie at the base of her favorite childhood tree with a heavy heart. Hearing these words, Ava felt restless inside. Maybe after seeing Mitch in a bit, her condition will be exactly the same. So she asked when they would leave. He said in a bit. Suddenly, Riley requested Ava to wear Katie's dress and dance with him one last time, because he wants to say goodbye to Katie. Ava was in a hurry to leave. So, agreeing with him, she got ready wearing Katie's dress, shoes, and everything. But she doesn't take off her own wedding ring. She kept a hatchet under the pillow for safety. Eventually, Riley comes and starts dancing to his favorite song while getting close to Ava. Ava remembers hearing this song at the last party with Mitch. Both were lost in their own worlds. Just then, Riley noticed Ava wasn't wearing Katie's wedding ring. Feeling disappointed, he requested her to wear Katie's ring and dance one more time. But when Ava didn't agree, Riley threatened to cancel the deal. Seeing no other way, Ava hit him on the head with a flower vase and ran into the next room. She was shocked to the core, because the dead pregnant Katie is lying on a beautifully decorated bed there, meaning Riley lied about burying her body. According to Riley, only those who have some unfinished business left come back after death. So he believes Katie will definitely come back to life to give birth to their baby. The most surprising thing is that even though Katie is dead, her baby is still alive. Ava realizes Riley has gone insane with the grief of Katie's death. And what Ava had feared about him was actually true. Maybe Clay didn't run away on his own. Rather, Riley put him down. So, seeing the situation, she got out through the window, took the car keys, and entered the garage. A cold wave of ice swept through her body, because several undead are tied up there. Actually, Riley is keeping them tied up to study them so he can handle Katie properly when she wakes up. Looking at some stages written on the board, Ava guesses the undead are in their teeth-grinding stage, just like that pole dancer girl. And in the next stage, they will probably turn into proper zombies, as proven by that undead at the gas station. At this point, Riley showed up. Ava smartly took off her wedding ring and acted like she was Katie. She told Riley to put the ring on her so they could complete the dance. When Ava hugged him, she immediately realized Riley was also playing her. So, getting the chance, she put him down by driving a screw tool into his neck and got into the car. Just then, she sees Katie standing with a blank stare. Even though Riley's words were true, he didn't have the luck to welcome his wife anymore. Leaving hundreds of bodies and pain behind, Ava drove the car at lightning speed. She woke up very late. The road is blocked, so she took a hatchet and walked a bit. She changed her dress from a suitcase lying in the middle of the road and walked toward the destination. After a long time, she reached Woodbridge. Just then, in the middle of all the silence, an undead suddenly attacked her. Somehow she got into a bus and finally managed to put him down by hitting him on the head multiple times with a fire extinguisher. She started walking again, but it's not possible to go like this for long. There are still 6 miles left. She sees a camper van on the road with 4 bodies inside. Ava put their bodies outside and slept in the van. In the middle of the night, she woke up hearing the sound of a shovel. Coming out with sleepy eyes, she saw a strange scene. Among the 4 bodies, the elderly man has come back to life, and he is digging the ground to bury his family's bodies. He saw Ava but didn't say anything. He just stared with a blank gaze for a while. Then Ava helped him bury the bodies by digging the soil. But finally, what happened was something she wasn't ready for at all. The old man buried everyone, handed the shovel to Ava, and sat down there himself. It was as if he was trying to say that this world is empty for him today, and this grave is the only place where his family is waiting for him. Finally, Ava put him down, meaning she buried him. As soon as it was morning, she headed toward the resort. She has come very close to Mitch. Now it's just a matter of time. Finally, Ava reached the resort. After such a long road, mental and physical breakdowns, and multiple struggles, she gathered courage and entered the resort. People have died while sitting for yoga. There is a strange silence in the resort. Maybe no one is alive. But that thought was broken when she saw Mitch's office's female undead employee. As Ava entered the next room, she saw Mitch lying dead, leaning against the bed. No, he didn't come back. Ava is remembering some old memories. And with this, we learn that Mitch and Ava were a perfect couple. Ava was the life of Mitch's world. But even after marriage, they weren't having a baby because of Mitch's medical issues. After this went on for a long time, Ava decided on IVF, but Mitch wanted some more time. But in the middle of this, Ava got into an extramarital affair with a third person. The day before leaving for the business trip to Tasmania, Ava confessed her guilt and told the truth. Mitch had said only one thing: "We'll talk after I get back." But that return never happened. Ava is staring at him with a blank gaze. She remembers Riley said only those who have unfinished business come back after death. After staring for a while, seeing Mitch's wedding ring on the side table, Ava slowly started to understand the whole thing. Mitch got intimate with his own office colleague to take revenge on Ava. Mitch settled all accounts before he died. So the need to talk to Ava was over. Then was Riley right? Ava doesn't understand what the final achievement of her endless journey was. Could she free herself from the feeling of regret? In the middle of her thoughts, Clay suddenly entered the room. He hadn't become Riley's victim that day. He knew Ava would come here. Clay doesn't ask any more questions after seeing her. Both sat on the beach with a load of failure. Clay says his own child and wife dislike him. So, when he told them about going to Tasmania to get his respect back, it didn't make a difference to them. Meaning, at the end of the day, they've both lost everything now. So, being free from worries, they start spending time at the resort. But in the middle of this, an undead enters. Ava pours out all the anger she had on him. In the morning, Ava stared with a dull gaze at a boat grave picture hanging on the wall. A boat grave is an ancient tradition where the dead person is placed inside a boat, set on fire, and floated away. So, Ava honorably set Mitch's body on fire in a boat, floated it away, and set off aimlessly with Clay. However, after going some distance, they had to stop the car, because Katie is standing in the middle of the road. It seems like she wants to say something to Ava. Even though Clay got scared seeing her, Katie took a deep breath after seeing Ava and walked away. Just then, hearing the sound of a baby crying from a distance, Ava had nothing left to understand. She ran there and saw Katie's healthy baby kept carefully wrapped in cloth. Ava holds the baby close to her chest. The last wish of her life was to be a mother. That dream has been fulfilled today. And on the other hand, Clay wanted a complete family, which he eventually gets. And with this extraordinary ending, today's movie ends. Death slowly removes the people we love from our lives. And we don't even realize when the surroundings have become so silent. We stay alive, talk, and try to laugh. But a void is created somewhere inside that is never filled. Because the absence of some people doesn't just carry time, it carries memories. So, definitely let me know how you liked the video. And don't forget to like the video. And the request to subscribe definitely remains.